My name is Grace Metz, Gracemetz, and I am one of the co-maids of honor, and I am the best friend to Veva, or one of the best friends for Veva. And I met her in college. So we lived in an all-girls dormitory. So it was freshman year, and I think it was in the first week or so, and it's that time where everybody is trying to make friends because they all feel out of place. And Maura and I were roommates, and we wandered into the common area where a big group of girls were watching, I think, The Bachelor, or no, it was Twilight, watching Twilight. So of course we sat down and watched Twilight with them. And then Veva was there too. And from that point, we kind of just hung out, and then Maura and Veva became friends first, and then Veva just kind of started showing up in our dorm room at all hours. And then by extension, I became friends with Veva, and that's pretty much it. And we lived together too, sophomore year, and that's what really cemented our friendship. We lived in this really, really awful, disgusting yellow house that was built in 1920. So it was 100 years old. No insulation. There were cockroaches and rats. It was a really, really horrendous place. And it was with a total of 5 girls. And then one of the girls, last month before the lease is supposed to start, said, "I can't live with you. We drop out." And so Maura and I were like, "Oh crap, okay, Veva, can you basically sign this lease to go live with us in a month?" And she got her dad to say yes, because they were still paying our rents at the time. And then she moved in with us to this awful place. And she had the smallest room, and yeah, it was a great time. Oh, I know so much about how they met. Um, so in freshman year, throughout freshman year, we were all young girls. We were kind of boy crazy, but she had never really met anyone freshman year that really caught her interest. So Maura and I were really, really, really ready and really waiting to see who would be her first crush. And one night she came home in sophomore year to our little ugly yellow house, and she mentioned meeting a boy very casually that had given her a ride to school. And not school, it was a school event. And when she got in the car, as a guy in her class, he was playing an anime song, and she's a total nerd. That was one thing that we really bonded over, because I also grew up watching anime, so we're both weebs. And this guy was playing this anime song, and just like that, they bonded over it. And from that point on, it was that was it. And it was really obvious that she liked him from the get-go. But of course, she denied it. She would constantly be we'd be "Oh, you like him?" "Oh," and she'd be "No, he's just a friend. It's nothing. Don't worry. It's nothing," over and over again. And then, I clearly remember, one day, her finally coming in to the living room and just being "Guys, I think I like Cameron," and just freaking out. And she just did not know what to do. And it was so great to see her fall in love for the first time. It was so beautiful. And I honestly can't remember this first time I met him, but I do remember one of the first times. Veva is bisexual, and her whole family knows this. So I always made a joke that whoever she first lost her virginity to, I was either gonna make a cake of boobs or a penis, depending on what gender it was. And I definitely did that still. So once they finally, became boyfriend and girlfriend and all that, there was one night where I literally made a giant cookie cake that was a huge penis. And I barely knew Cameron at this point. And I just presented it to him. And I was "Congratulations on losing your virginity." And I really liked Cameron from the moment I met him. He's hilarious and clumsy and awkward and weird. And he's also just the sweetest guy ever, and is so genuine and earnest. And yeah, I really knew that they were going to be in it for the long run. There was a really clear moment where I knew Cameron was the one, because I think first loves are often not the one, and they're both their first loves, their first real relationships. But I really knew when Veva's mom passed away. They had only been dating like a couple months. She had been sick with cancer for like many years. Um, and they started dating in April, and her mom passed away, I think, like in the summer of that same year. And Cameron was just there in a way that you wouldn't expect a 20-year-old to be there for a girl he'd only been dating for a couple of months. Like he was so present and just so steadfast in his support for her. And honestly, I clearly remember being at her funeral and just like seeing him and being so amazed at how present he was and just being so in awe of him. I was so, and from that moment on, I honestly, I cared a lot about him, and I kind of knew that he was her equal because she is one of the best people you will ever meet. And it would have been really hard for her to meet somebody who was her caliber, and she really did. And I knew it at that moment, really. And I remember looking at him and thinking that. And they continued. I didn't expect them to get married so soon, honestly, because Veva's very, like, she's very responsible, and, you know, they're pretty young. So I was kind of surprised that they got married so soon, but I was not surprised that they did get married. I had a feeling that they would be together forever after that. Sorry, you told me to think about it, and now I'm like all like emotional. But I guess if I have to say anything to y'all, it's just that, you know, hold each other tight and never let each other go. And I look forward so much to seeing everything like you're going to do with your life. And I am so grateful that I have you, Cameron, because you will read like every game manual ever for every game night, and I'm never gonna have to worry about like what rules for whatever game we're playing ever again. And I am so excited for y'all to be in my life forever. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be part of your life.